Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 1 of the 2021-22 NFL season. So here it goes. First game, Dallas at Tampa Bay. Well, I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one. I know Dallas is going to be somewhat rejuvenated, revitalized. Dak Prescott, I believe, will be coming back from the injury. And if this is the case, they could actually make this competitive. But I think Tampa Bay, right now they are primed to defend their Super Bowl title. I expect them to have a very good season. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they will be, likely come down to one of the, final four teams. In the postseason. They'll likely make it at least to the NFC title game. Tom Brady doesn't show much signs of deterioration. I think he's going to play well this season. Probably numbers will drop a little bit this season, but it'll be good enough for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and then their defense, which may be unheralded, to play. And our defense is unheralded, and that's going to play a pivotal role in their success this season. I like Tampa Bay to get this one done at home. Now, the next game, Philadelphia at Atlanta. Well, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons in this game. I'm really, not sure what's really, what these two teams are going to both be doing this season in terms of their success. But I don't really see much coming out of either one of these teams. It's mainly Atlanta due to virtue of them being at home. As many of you may know, the Atlanta Falcons lost Julio Jones, receiver on the team. He went to the Titans. Atlanta may not have been that good to begin with. I don't know what they're going to do, without Julio Jones. Now we're going to see if their receiver that they have to supplant him, how he's going to do. But I think it's still going to be enough to defeat the Eagles. I don't know the Eagles. I don't know what they're really going to be about this season. I believe they lost some key proponents. At least one during the off season. We'll see how they're going to do this season, but I don't know if we could really expect a whole lot out of them. But I like Atlanta to get this one done at home. Now, the next game should be a good game. You have Pittsburgh going against Buffalo. Buffalo's at home. Pittsburgh, the last season, they struck me as a little bit enigmatic. They didn't. They played very well to start the season. They looked everything but invincible. Then they dropped I know what it was, 3 of their last 4 or 4 of their last 5 regular season games or something. They kind of sputtered into the playoffs, and they lost to Cleveland, and they played well in that second half of that game against the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if we're going to see, the Roethlisberger that we saw earlier in the season, or the latter part, or the one that we saw in the second half of the Cleveland Browns playoff game. But I think we'll see a version that will be a little bit closer to what we saw in the earlier part of the season for the Steelers. But they are going against Buffalo, who's like 7-1 at home in the regular season last season. I think they were like 8-1 overall, including the postseason at home. And Pittsburgh, I think, was only like 5-3 on the road. I'm going to take Buffalo to get this done at home. Buffalo kept their nucleus intact. I believe Stephon Diggs is still with them, and it should be enough to get this done. The next game, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings on the road to defeat the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know, Cincinnati is still, they're kind of in their reclamation mode. I don't know if, Joe Burrows, I don't think he's going to be playing. And even if he is, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. Minnesota goes in, they have still got Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook. Minnesota is still adequate. Some people have predicted, I think, for them to be like a dark horseman in the NFC. They could be a viable playoff team. They're certainly better than the Bengals, and even on the road, I do like Minnesota to get this one over Cincinnati. No, the next game. Well, the next game I'm going to take, this is going to be a tough one. San Francisco on the road against the Detroit Lions. Well, A lot of people are going to pick the 49ers. I'm actually maybe I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb with, the Jared Goff era, kicking off with Detroit. And Detroit being at home, I'm actually going to take the Lions to get this one done at home reluctantly, but I'm still going to do it. I'm going to say that they get this done. I don't know what's happening with San Francisco at quarterback, if it's going to be Garoppolo or what's going on with them. There may be some distractions with, if there's any quarterback controversy going on with that team. So I'm going to take the Lions actually to win this one at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take Tennessee to win at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Tennessee. I think one of the analysts, Spears on ESPN, actually picked the Titans to win the Super Bowl this season. Well, they may not win the Super Bowl, but they definitely augmented their team. They have Julio Jones now, which was added to a very solid offense. You have Arizona that might have augmented their defense by acquiring J.J. Watt. It should be a very tight game, I think, but I think Tennessee with their offense is going to be enough to get the job done. So I'm going to take the Titans to win this one at home. Now the next game I'm going to take Seattle to get this done on the road against the Colts. The Colts, I don't know what's going to be happening, with their team this year with their new quarterback that they have, and you look at the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, they ended that season on kind of a sour note when they lost to the Rams. They did not really look that good, and that is not really a way you want to go out at the end of the season. I think they're going to be back this season, perhaps with a vengeance. They could be a team that could go deep in the NFC playoffs. Indiana, I'm not really quite sure about them and what's how they're going to play. They have a solid team, but I think Seattle's a little bit better, and I'm going to take Seattle to get this done on the road. Now the next game, well, in this game, Los Angeles Chargers are going to be at the Washington team. I'm going to take. I'm going to take Washington to win this game. The Los Angeles Chargers quarterback. I'm going to see if he's either flash in the pan, or if he's a one-year wonder, or if he's going to continue to escalate upon his play of last season. Be interesting to see if we see any progression with him or not. Washington, I think, is not really a great team. They may be a mediocre team this season. They have enough, I believe, though, to still do what they have to do to win this particular game. At a conference game for the Chargers going on the road, I do like the Washington team to get this job done and win this game in a very tight game. But I do like Washington to win it. Now, the next game, my New York Jets going at the Carolina Panthers. Well, the Jets, I really would like to pick them. I really would, but they are a team that I believe is still in reclamation mode. They have to go on the road. They did not really fare well last season. I don't know, this year maybe they can get a little bit better with their rookie quarterback. We're going to have to see. A lot of that's going to be predicated on that. They got a new edge rusher, which they desperately needed. I don't know if that's going to make, this one edge rusher a monumental difference. It was imperative they were to get him, and they did. They got to go to Carolina, and McCaffrey. They got a very good running game. I think their offense is going, and the running game is going. May run amok in this particular contest. I'm not really sure about. The Jets' run defense may be decent, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to combat the running game of Carolina in this one. I'm going to take Carolina in this one to get this done at home. Now the next game, we got Jacksonville at Houston. Well, I'm going to take in this game. I'm going to take Houston at home. What makes this compelling matchup is that I'm not even sure. I don't know if it's been even decided. The fate of Deshaun Watson, if he's going to be playing or not. He's going to be on Houston. Jacksonville goes in with Trevor Lawrence, who got obviously a lot of outstanding rave reviews And we're going to see if he can actually, what he's going to do in this first game on the road against the Texans. I don't know if he's going to be able to accomplish, a lot, but I think, he may be adequate, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat the Houston Texans. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back, but anyway, in this particular battle, I'm going to go, with a more of the experience with the Houston Texans as opposed to, Jacksonville with their rookie quarterback going in there. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans to get this one done at home. Now the next game, we got the Cleveland Browns going against the Kansas City Chiefs. It'll be at Kansas City. Cleveland Browns, they have a very, formidable pass rush. They're going to be coming at Kansas City and blitzing them a number of times in this game, pretty frequently, I believe. But Kansas City did augment their offensive line. The Chiefs are going to be back with a vengeance, I believe, after losing the Super Bowl to Tampa Bay, in which, of course, they got plastered in that one. I mean, they were just completely annihilated. They could not really do much on offense against a very, I would say, unheralded Tampa Bay defense. But this is a game, opening game at Kansas City. I don't think Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are going to let the fans down in this one. I think it should be a pretty good game. Kansas City pulls away in the fourth quarter, I believe. Kansas City does get this job done at home, and I like KC to win it. Now the next game, Miami at New England. Well, this game, really could be a very good game. It might be an underrated game, actually. You have, Miami coming off a very solid season. I think they were like 10-6 last season, and I'm going to see if they're going to be, a team that's going to be reckoned with, if they're going to continue on from their success last season, and if it's going to manifest into something positive for them this season. Now, New England comes off a season in which they struggled, and New England had missed the playoffs for the first time in a number of years. I don't know if Bill Belichick is going to have 2 consecutive losing seasons. I don't know if he ever has. If he has one this season, it could be historical. We're going to see what's going to happen between the battle between Cam Newton, a quarterback, and their rookie prospect. I think New England may get in as a wild card this season. I think they're going to go in this game with something to prove. I do like the Patriots to get this one done. I think it's going to be a tight game, divisional matchup, given that New England is not nearly as good as they had been compared to the Tom Brady era. And Miami is still, I'm sure, a solid team coming back off of a very successful season last season. So I'm going to go with New England to get this one done at home. Hold on a moment, people. I'm trying to see the schedule here. Okay, well, the next game is going to be Green Bay at New Orleans. Now, the Green Bay Packers came off a season where they were very formidable, where they played, they had really a tremendous, phenomenal offense with Aaron Rodgers in their running game, and really the receivers have an outstanding season. There was some controversy in what was going on with Aaron Rodgers. Was he going to stay or was he going to go? And now they have that assurance now, the Packers, that he will be with them this season. This might be the last season that Aaron Rodgers plays with Green Bay. I think they are good enough to go on the road against the Saints. It looks like Jameis Winston, I believe, is going to likely be the quarterback. I don't know if that was 100% decided or not, but whether it was or not, I believe he will be the QB. The Saints can actually make the postseason. They're going to be at home, but the Green Bay Packers are going to go, and I think their offense is just going to be a little bit better than the Saints in this one. I do like the Packers to get this one done on the road. So I'm going to take the Packers to win this. Now, the next game. Now, the Denver Broncos at my New York Giants. Now, of course, when I make predictions, I got to take emotion out of the equation, be objective and unbiased. I would like to pick my G-men. They might actually make this competitive if they get their running game going, and let's see what happens with their quarterback in this one and the running game. If their running backs are going to be healthy this entire season, and in this game they may be okay. Now the Denver Broncos go into this game. They're going to have Teddy Bridgewater as the starter. Their defense will probably be at least mediocre and adequate this season. I think it's going to be enough to get a W in this game. I wouldn't be completely shocked if the Giants pull out a W in this one. That NFC East, the one good, what's auspicious for the Giants, and they're in that NFC least, I could call them, and they could make a run to possibly win the division, but I don't think they're going to get it done. Dallas, I think, will do it. The Giants are a few steps behind it. I don't know if they're going to actually, are they even good enough to beat Denver? I don't really believe that will happen. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to take the Broncos in this one to get this done. And I think the pass rush for Denver will be a little bit stronger than the O-line for the Giants. That could be a major difference in this game. So I'm going to take the Giants to get this one done at home. Now the next game, the Chicago Bears at the Los Angeles Rams. Now I'm going to see what happens in this particular one with the Matt Stafford era kicking off with the Rams. There's some people that actually think the Rams may come out of the NFC this season as a dark horse. Perhaps the Rams could be very competitive. That NFC West could really be actually up for grabs. You could have three teams that could conceivably win that division. Chicago goes in, Andy Dalton likely being the QB. He's basically said it's his, this is his time now. And I think, the Bears may make it somewhat closer than many anticipate. Their defense may be able to do something. But I think, in this particular game, I like, the Rams with Stafford and their offense. I think they're gonna start off, kick off this Matt Stafford era very well. It's gonna be at Los Angeles. I believe they do get this job done. Chicago is just not, really. I mean, Chicago may be a team that could be. They could be a borderline playoff team. I mean, 17 games, maybe they're 8-9 this season. Maybe they missed the playoffs by 1 or 2 games, but I'm going to still take the Rams are a team that are a viable contender, at least for the division title. They're going to be at home, and they're good enough to get this done. I'm going to take the Rams at home. Now, last but not least, I'm going to see, just scrolling down here to the, sorry for a little wobbling effect here. Now, we're going to Baltimore at Las Vegas. Well, this could actually be a classic toss-up. I understand that Baltimore made the postseason last season. They had a better season than Las Vegas Raiders, but Las Vegas seems to gradually, be progressing and getting in the right direction with their head coach John Gruden. I'm going to see how Derek Carr, if he evolves, continues to evolve, and see how he plays. But Baltimore with the running game with Lamar Jackson, I'm going to reluctantly take them to get this done on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. I wouldn't be shocked or flabbergasted if the Raiders pull out this one. It's going to be a Monday night game, national television opening game for them. It will be. I do see this as being a close contest, but I'm going to take Baltimore to get this done on the road, and I think they're just going to have the quarterback Lamar Jackson being elusive. I think he's going to make a very huge. He could make a huge difference in this game against the pass rush of the Raiders, and I think he's going to be in the defense of the Raiders. I think they'll be able to elude the pass rush, and it'll be enough to enable the Baltimore Ravens to emerge victorious and get this job done. So I'm going to take Baltimore on the road. Well, anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.